Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Mindful in Minutes podcast, the last episode of 2025, and then it is time for a new year. So I've done this the last couple of years, and I wanted to continue to do it, and that is releasing more of like an audio workshop than I guess a real like freeform podcast episode for New Year's Eve or right around New Year's Eve so that we can kind of do a fun little like New Year's Eve activity together. This is the workshop from last year's virtual New Year's Eve retreat. So it's scripting your ideal year. And we're going to be talking all about like what scripting is, how you can use it for manifestation. I'm going to walk you through not only like scripting 101, but then like how you actually do it and the exercise. And then when we talk about all of that, I'll tell you exactly what you need for scripting. And then we'll do the quick break. We'll do the ads a little bit earlier than usual because we're going to get them out of the way. And then after that short ad break, then we're going to do a short guided meditation. And then I will put some music on for you so that you can listen to it while you're scripting. And I'm not quite sure what music I'm going to put. I'm gonna see just where where the wind blows me on this one. And I apologize if you can hear in my voice that I'm still a little bit sick. I have had mystery illness for the last week or so. Thank goodness, because of the holidays, I worked a little bit ahead in recording meditations because, oh my gosh, I woke up last week and had a sore throat, and then it was either like Monday or Tuesday. I'm getting my one like tangent, my ADHD tangent out of the way early, so I'm gonna get right down to business. But I woke up with like no voice, but in the way that was like almost comical. Like I sounded like Kermit the Frog had like a weekend bender at Vegas and was like just getting home after that. It was like almost comical. And but anyway, so thankfully, not exactly. I sent Daniela, we know her, we love her, friend of the pod, Daniela. I sent her a voice note that day about something work related, and it was like so comical. And I just told her, I said, thank goodness I worked ahead on recording some meditations, because I said, can you believe, or like, could you imagine if I had to record meditations today? And she just responded, and she was like, she was like, this would not work only if the meditations were Halloween or like fear themed. And anyways, we had a good chuckle about that. So if you can hear that, I apologize. I'm still a little bit sick with mystery illness, but knock on wood, knock on my wooden closet door, hopefully, on the mend. So with all that, today we are going to be doing scripting. Like I said, it was the workshop of the virtual New Year's Eve retreat for last year. So for this year, and I think I'm going to break all the rules, and I think I'm actually going to release this episode a little bit early for my friends that are like on the other side of the globe that are in the future. Hello. And I know that if I release it at like midnight my time, it's like midday your time. So I actually think I'm going to release this on the 30th afternoon, so then everyone can have it for New Year's Eve. So hello, my like Australian friends and et cetera, et cetera. But if you want to join me for a fun event, I am doing the annual virtual New Year's Eve retreat again. And every year, if you've been around for a while, you hear about this every year. It's one of my favorite things that I do every year. I think just saying goodbye to 1 year and welcoming in another year with intention is such a beautiful practice, and it's such a special thing. I think New Year's Eve is one of my favorite holidays, just because I think it can be a really meaningful time. And I'm not a big like go out on New Year's Eve person, but I love to like do deep cleaning like of my house and do different rituals, vision boarding. For a while, I was doing in-person New Year's Eve retreats. I really hope to do one again soon. And but since then, I've been doing virtual ones, a virtual version. So this year's theme is a radiant renewal, and it has about 3 hours worth of content. So it starts with an opening meditation, and it's all about kind of this soft start, really clearing away the old. I know for a lot of us, 2025 was a year, and we're ready to really clear that old kind of residual and heaviness. And hopefully for you had a phenomenal 2025 and you just want to keep, the good times rolling. But if you want to kind of clear away anything from 2025 so you can step into 2026 really feeling not only renewed in like body and heart, but also like mentally feeling like you're ready for a fresh start, you can do that. So we start with an opening meditation, and then we do a full body opening and lymphatic drainage slow flow yoga class. And then we go into a yoga nidra for total renewal. I'm just remembering off the top of my head for total renewal. I filmed it a little bit ago. And then our workshop for this year is one for cleaning residual from the year behind. So energetic residual. So I walk you through how to do like a cleanse, kind of more like an aura cleanse. And then we do some different exercises. So we physically cleanse with the yoga class. Then we energetically cleanse. I walk you through how you can actually do an energy clearing at home. And then we do some different exercises for mental clearing away. So old thought patterns, negative self-talk, things like that. And then emotional as well, how we do kind of that emotional clearing to prepare. So that's our workshop. And then we end with some breath work. And then a closing ritual. So that is what's going on this year. It is pay what you can. So it's sliding scale. I think it's a recommended donation of around $70, but you can see that there's a check and a pay what you can option there as well. And then there's a lot of bonus. So I have like 108 sun salutations, a New Year's Day meditation, and a exercise, write a letter to yourself on New Year's Day. All that is just bonuses included in the retreat. So I'll link to that in the show notes. You can still do it. If you're listening to this in the future, I'm going to let the Radiant Renewal Retreat, I'm going to close it out on the 5th of January. So you have until the 5th of January to join, and then you'll have it for 6 months after that. So that is what is going on. I love these virtual retreats. If you love what you hear today, you will definitely like that New Year's Eve retreat. So that is my plug for that, just because I love that event and I'm really proud of what I made. And I think the little filming backdrop is pretty cute this year. I always found like a different, like kind of holiday themed, like studio to film it at. So I don't know. It's just kind of a fun thing. So yeah, let's dive into scripting. So like I said, we'll talk about what scripting is, how it works, and then I'm going to walk you through our exercise. Quick ad break, and then we'll do a short guided meditation, and then I will play some music and give you some time to write. So scripting is really a writing exercise. And scripting is this manifestation technique that involves writing detailed narratives about your desired future as if it has already occurred. So it's in the present tense. And this practice really leverages the law of attraction, or the idea of where the mind goes, the energy flows. So to do this on New Year's Eve and to script your upcoming year, I think this is like the perfect time to practice scripting. Of course, you can do it at any point, but I think this is like if you're going to script only one time a year, I think this is like the time to do it. So how does it work? Scripting really works by using visualization. So by vividly describing your desired outcomes, you create a mental image that clarifies your goals and really engages your imagination. It also works through affirmation. So writing in the present tense as though your goals have already been achieved, it reinforces this positive mindset and really aligns your belief with your desired reality. It also works with attraction. So focusing on positive emotions and detailed scenarios, it really helps to kind of raise that vibration or raise that vibrational frequency to help you align with your aspirations and attracting them into your life. So when I walk you through the exercise, you'll see that it really is about focusing on the positive, and it feels good. So even if you're not someone who necessarily believes in like vibrational frequency, it's something that it just like feels good to write about yourself in this way. And I really do think like I said, where the mind goes, the energy flows. But I think that when you're doing something that feels good, it does kind of attract good things into your life. And it's also really great for revisiting and then rereading as a reminder. So you can script anything, but whatever you script today, make sure that you keep it, because I think it's a really great thing to reread like a few times throughout the year to remind yourself of your goals and what you envisioned. And every time that you reread that, it is an opportunity to reflect, but also an invitation to be that person now. Like I think about when we had Mimi Bouchard on the podcast back in the fall, and she always talked about like be her now. And that's always stuck with me. And it's something that I tell myself, and I appreciate Mimi reminding me of that. But this idea of like be her now or be him now or be that person now. And just because you're reading something that you scripted and maybe you read it 6 months from now and it's the middle of the summer and you're like, you know what, I can be that person now. So I think it's a really great tool to have to revisit, but also as a reminder as to what you are working towards. So some of the benefits of scripting is that it really helps with clarity. So it helps in clearly defining and understanding your desires. So you can get super, super clear when you're scripting as to like, what is this thing? What does it feel like? What does it look like? How do I work towards it every single day? It's also really great for a positive mindset. So it encourages a focus on positive outcomes, really enhancing overall well-being. And then it helps you with alignment. So it synchronizes your thoughts and emotions with your goals, so making that manifestation more effective. And it also helps you to start with the big picture and then work your way back for smaller, manageable goals. So what I really love about scripting and this particular form of manifestation is because it's so clear and so specific, and it's often really centered around like, what are the smaller, more manageable goals that I can work towards to achieve the bigger goals. So when you're scripting, the steps to actually practicing scripting, the first one is going to be setting clear intentions. So you'll define specific goals that you wish to manifest. So clarity really ensures focused and effective scripting. So we will be working on scripting your ideal year is going to be the theme for our exercise together. Then you're going to create a dedicated journal entry. So you'll find a specific journal or a piece of paper that feels special for your script. So you'll probably need some time too. Scripting takes a little bit of time because you're just writing in detail. You'll also write in the present tense. So you'll write as if you already have this and are living it. And then incorporate emotions and details. So include sensory experiences and emotions to make your script vivid and engaging. So really enhancing that manifestation process. And then expressing gratitude. So show appreciation for your current blessings and the manifestations that you anticipate. So it really helps to foster this mindset of abundance. So by engaging in scripting, you're really allowing yourself to become the author of your reality, directing your focus and energy towards the life that you wish to create. So this practice is really intentional, and it not only clarifies your desires, but it also aligns your subconscious mind with your conscious goals, facilitating the manifestation process. So if I had to take all of that and just answer like, what is scripting? It's basically a form of intentional writing, usually after a meditation or where you're in kind of that clear-minded state where you are writing about yourself, like writing a journal entry from a day where you are living your dream life or you're living a certain aspect of your life. So it's like future you is writing in your journal and saying, Dear Diary, however you want to start it, you can write it however you want to start it. But you're just going to write, and then you're like, talking about, I woke up and I felt this way and I did this, and these are the things that I do every single day. And it's like as if you're writing as your future, like highest, most aligned, goal-oriented version of yourself, but you're writing it today as you, but just imagining you're your future self. And it really helps you to get into that mindset and get into like that life that you could be living. So what are we going to do today? We know what scripting is, but sort of what is the task for our workshop? Basically, we're going to write a script as if it is 1 year from now. So the last day of the new year. If you're listening when this is released, obviously you can do it any year, but you would be writing it as if this is the very last day of 2026. And we're going to write about what happened, how we felt, how we feel different now compared to, a year ago. And I recommend picking 3 main areas to write about. So if you're not sure what you want to focus on, I usually prompt people to write 1 section on career, 1 on health, and 1 on happiness or relationships. So maybe on your piece of paper now, if you don't have it, pause me now. I'm about to give you the instructions as to what we're going to do. So pause me if you need to and go get your piece of paper or your journal that you want to write in. Okay, so the setup, really simple for scripting. Get a piece of paper or a journal, something to write with, and then you'll want to go to a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be interrupted. There really isn't like a right or wrong place or way to do this. But yeah, that's all that you'll need for this. And then the next step is you're going to choose your focus areas. So right now at the top of your page, write down 3 areas of your life that you want to script about. So if you're not sure, maybe they come right to you. But if you're not sure, like I said, usually maybe like a career or work focus, maybe a health or well-being focus, and then like something like a happiness or relationship or personal life focus. I find that those kind of 3 things are different enough where you'll have enough to write about, and they won't overlap as much. Where if you pick like personal life, relationships, and happiness as your 3 focuses, which you could, but a lot of times they'll have kind of overlap in those different goals. So just think about the 3 areas that you want to focus on. If you need a minute to think, you can always pause me and hit play when you're ready for the next step. So then when you've written your 3 focus areas, then we will do in a moment here, I'll lead you through a short guided meditation just to help you really slow down and quiet your mind and get into a relaxed, creative space. And then right after that meditation, then you can begin scripting. So I'm going to play some different background music for you so you can listen. And I will give you, I think I'm going to put about 30 minutes of background music to listen to while you are scripting. If you want to just turn off the episode at that point when the music starts and put on your own music, you could certainly do that. My only apprehension with that is if you're like me and you go and you switch apps, like a different music app, you might be kind of likely to get distracted and start clicking around like in that app. So that's the only thing just to consider. But I will put 30 minutes worth of kind of ambient background music, like the kind of stuff you'd hear in the background of a guided meditation. And then you'll have about 30 minutes to write. And you can write as long as you want, but I find that's usually a good amount. And what you'll do is when you're writing, imagine that you're living life 1 year from today. So whatever day you're listening to this audio workshop, you're going to write a journal entry looking back on everything that's happened in a year. So basically you're writing as if you're wrapping up 2026 and you're talking about everything that you just did for the last year and what that was like and how it felt. And write about it as if the year has already unfolded, but really focus on what happened, how it felt, and how you have changed. So something that you could write, for example, is this year I found so much joy in the small things. I slowed down. I went on more walks. I created more space in my life physically and emotionally. I wake up now every day feeling calmer, lighter, and more grounded than ever before. So let yourself be detailed. Let yourself dream. Really let yourself feel it. And do your best just to let it flow. So there's no need to rush. Also, you don't have to edit as much. No one else is going to read this. Don't be self-critical. Just really let yourself just let it flow. If it comes out quickly, great. If you need a little time to think, that's also great. But try not to self-edit. And you're just going to write this journal entry. You can do it a few different ways. You could write like 3 shorter journal entries, each one focusing on one of those categories. Or you can write one longer one and just sort of write about the 3 altogether. Up to you. There isn't a right or wrong way to do it. I would just pick whatever style intuitively feels better for you. And then when you're done writing kind of your 3 different scripting sections, you're going to end your entry by writing 3 things that you're proud of yourself for doing or achieving or feeling this year, and a short gratitude statement like, thank you, universe, for supporting me every step of the way, or thank you, can be anything. Thank you, God, for guiding me on my path today. Thank you, guides, for walking with me side by side. Thank you to my highest self for giving me guidance, whatever feels good to you. And then when you're done, you'll just take a deep breath and just kind of sit with it for a minute. That's it. You'll just sit with it and you'll really just kind of feel into what you wrote, and just kind of let it simmer. And that's really it. That's how you do scripting. So those are our instructions for an audio workshop. We're going to take a moment. So, get ready to hit that forward 15-second button because we're going to do the quick ad break. You'll hear it in just a moment. And then when we're back, we will do a guided meditation. So before you write anything down, take a moment, set your pen and paper off to the side, and just bring yourself into the moment and into your body. Notice 3 things that you feel with your body right now. It could be the feeling of your clothes on your body, the feeling of your breath, or the temperature of the air in the room. And just be with your body for a moment right here. Bringing your awareness now to your breath. And as you follow your breath, begin to focus on the pause at the end of every inhale, that moment before the exhale. Just inhaling fully, pause for a moment, and exhaling fully. Just continue to focus on the pause at the top of the inhale, that single moment before the exhale begins. And now, as you breathe, pause at the bottom of the exhale, noticing that moment before the next inhale begins. Just inhale, pause, exhale, pause. Continuing with this, just honoring and focusing on those moments of pause between the inhale and the exhale on each breath cycle. Just inhale, pause, exhale, pause, and repeat. as you're breathing, allow yourself to linger for a moment in those pauses. The natural pauses that happen before each inhale and every exhale. Allow these moments of pause in every breath cycle bring you to a space of groundedness, of stillness within. With every breath cycle, allow it to calm you, focusing you inward, allowing yourself to create a sacred pause within you and around you. Just letting it all be clear and letting it all flow. And when you're ready, taking a big deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and begin to write.